Welcome back, y'all, to Whiplash TV. I appreciate y'all coming back to check out another video here on the channel. Today, I'm gonna work on the 2006 Chevy Silverado LBZ Duramax, and I'm gonna upgrade the head unit today, as the title says. I'm gonna install a Pioneer DMH W4660NEX. If y'all would, go ahead and hit that thumbs up video real quick and give this video a like. Also, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. That way you get notified every time that I post a new video. Alright, let's hop right into it. Alright, y'all, so I'm going to get this old Pioneer double-din head unit out the way. I'm looking forward to getting a screen in here to where I can do navigation and all sorts of other things. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing out, and here's what I picked up to replace it. I've got a new Pioneer DMH W4660NEX double-din head unit. We'll dive into it a little bit more here in a little bit, but that's the head unit that I picked out for this because it has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and a bunch of other great features. So that's why I picked up. This is the Metra kit that you'll need to do a double-din in your 99 to 2006 GM truck. Here's the part number. So if y'all probably have seen this dash removal done, not only here on the channel, but probably numerous other videos. So I'm not going to bore you with it. But for those that don't know, you're simply going to tilt your wheel all the way down. You're going to hold your foot on the brake and put the gear selector all the way down into number 1 so that it's down and out of the way of this dash trim piece. And once that's down and out the way, it's super easy to take your dash trim piece off because you literally just pop it off. There's just clips back behind there. So it's real simple. I'm going to get that off, and then let's see what we got to do to get the new head unit in. So now that the dash trim piece is out, we can get a look at what we got to do to remove this double-din unit, and nobody even screwed this unit in. So this thing is actually just sitting loose back here behind the dash trim piece. Pretty wild. Hopefully they didn't do a half job on the rest of things back here, but let's take a look. So first thing to do will be to pull this out. So it looks like they've done a whole bunch of wiring back here. So we're going to have to see what's been done back here for what, and what wiring is left. So the only things that were plugged into the back of the old unit was these two RCA cables for an amp. There is amp wiring for some subs in this truck, which I might add later on. So I'll definitely get these hooked back up to the appropriate spot on the new head unit. And then we have the connector, which went into the back of the old Pioneer unit. And then the plug-in for the antenna. I really don't like how short they cut and they trimmed all these wires for that other Pioneer head unit. If this plug-in worked for the new head unit and I needed to add anything onto these wires, then that would be pretty difficult because of how short they left them. So let's unbox this unit and see what all is inside. Alright, we've got our instruction manual. We've got our hookup for some cameras, RCAs, and that plugs right into the back of the unit. We've got a mini USB to a full-size USB adapter. We've got a mini USB extension cable. This is going to be our GPS connection. It comes with a remote. Here's our main harness right here. Here is screws for mounting. Here's your microphone for hands-free calling. And then here's the head unit itself. Another reason why I picked this head unit is because it's a small chassis, so it's only a few inches deep. Much more shallow than the other head unit, so it'll be a lot easier to have room for wires behind it and makes for a simple install. Here's the back side of it. You've got your main connector, you've got your connector for the RCAs, your antenna, your mini HDMI, And then you've also got your GPS hookup, your microphone. So here's a really good look in comparison as to how shallow the new unit is compared to the old one. I'd say it's about half the size of the old one. Alright y'all, let me just go on a little pet peeve and say something. When somebody's already done wiring on a truck and they've taken a shortcut, there were these two RCAs that maybe they previously went to a amp or something like that, and they were run and tucked back up in there. They go all the way down and along underneath here, and then here they're just cut. So I got a request for two people. The person who did this before, take the wiring out, and the person doing this install currently, which is me or you watching this video, go ahead and clean up your wiring. If someone else cut some wires and they just left these things laying in here and it's trash, go ahead and take that wiring out and clean it up. Alright y'all, I keep on finding stuff. So over here's another set of cut wires. I don't know what's up with this, so I'll get that cleaned out of there. Also, the microphone for the wireless calling, I gotta trace this back and locate it over underneath there. And for those that don't know, this bottom piece of plastic is just held in by two 7mm and two spots where these plastic prongs go through the dash. So I've got the GPS up here. I'm going to put a double-sided sticky on it, and that'll stick it to the dash up in this area. I've run the wire right through this crack, all the way around here, went back inside of here, and underneath the fuse panel, and tucked it up underneath here. Then I ran it the whole way underneath, back inside of here, and brought it back out over here. I also unplugged my subwoofer RCA and disconnected it from here where I had it hooked up earlier, and ran it cleaner up into this pocket. And then my other hookups to the new unit include the antenna and the main plug right here, and this plug right here. So I already took the Metro dash kit off of the old head unit and put it onto this new one, so it's already on here. This dash kit is super simple. This outer trim ring goes on the outside of the head unit, and it slides over it after you put on these outer plastic pieces, which have these tabs that go through the outer trim ring in these two spots. So you put the side plastic pieces on there, slip it right over your head unit, and then install your screws into whichever spots make the best sense for you. So now I'm ready to make my final connections on the back of this head unit and install it. One other thing I did want to show you is that this mini USB plugs into the back of the head unit, and I went ahead and put it right here into this. This cubby just clips on out. So I went ahead and I pulled this out, drilled a hole in the back just big enough to install the USB into the top of the cubby hole. So that way it won't be easily seen, but it'll also be usable. So here's one last look before I put the dash trim piece back on it. Here's the dash kit, which goes on a pin right there that's in the dash. And then I had a couple screws on hand, so I put one there. And then over here, again, the dash kit lines up with this pin that goes through the dash. And then I've got my screw in here, so everything is good and tight. So now it's time to put the dash back on, and then we'll look at the finished product. Alright, now the trim piece is on. You can see how nice and clean it turned out. So let's go ahead and power it on. Alright, so here's the Apple CarPlay. Looks really nice. Here's the maps. You can literally see and do all sorts of things. It looks just like other units that have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Here's how we can go back to the home page. You can keep it on the home page and play your music and do everything there. or go to Apple CarPlay and go to your music here. So it looks a whole lot better than that other head unit. Alright, so once again, here's that old head unit, and here's our new one. Such a huge upgrade. I appreciate y'all for checking out this video. Y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all thought about it. I really like the upgrade that this double din unit has over the old one. The Apple CarPlay and Android Auto just brings it on up to the modern age that we are at now compared to way back in 2006. I also noticed a really big difference in sound quality over the new unit versus the old unit. The new unit is much more clear, and it's also high definition audio ready. So it'll play back wireless music at a higher resolution than the other double din would. Y'all be sure to hit that like button before you get on out of here, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video.